when their teeth grow into their brain.
Chipndale Rescue Rangers came out on Friday. This movie is nothing like what I thought it would be when it was announced a few years ago. I originally thought this movie was going to be a more modern adaptation of the old cartoon, but it's actually a Roger Rabbit style film where we follow Chip and Dale as detectives as they're trying to find the missing cartoon characters. I'm going to have to get into some spoilers for this video, but I think I can talk about my overall thoughts on this movie without getting into the spoilers for it. Now, I've been hooked for this movie since the first trailer, but I will say I have been worried that it might be a little gimmicky, and I don't think this movie worries about references too much. Now, I will say I feel like certain things are brought up way too much. Like, sometimes they'll try and cram multiple references into, like, one line, and it's just a lot to take in. Other than that, there was just a lot of characters that happen to be background characters. I don't think the references get in the way of the movie moving along. It doesn't ruin the plot, it doesn't stunt it, I think it's just kind of a part of it. Like, you know how in Space Jam 2, they have that really long scene where they're going through endless and endless references and not servicing the movie at all? This doesn't do that. Now, I've always known who Chip and Dale were, but I'm not very familiar with their dynamic in any other media. I think I met them at Disney World once. They didn't really say anything to me. That's okay, no. I'm assuming I'm just so cool. They were speechless. But moving on. After Rescue Rangers got canceled, Dale is left as a struggling actor in this film, and he isn't brought back into the light until he's able to reunite with Dale to oh shit. I meant to say Chip. He reunites with Chip. Wait, did I mess their names up? Hold on. Sorry, I had a bit of a crisis there. But he isn't brought back into the light until he reunites with Chip to find their friend Monterey Jack. Dale's main objective in this movie is to become friends with Chip again, and to get Rescue Rangers rebooted for a new audience. While Chip is adapted to the simple life after Rescue Rangers was cancelled. Although he acts like he likes his life and that he's better without Dale, he finds himself incredibly lonely. On one hand, I do wish that Chip and Dale's storylines were a little more complex, but this is a kid's movie. I can't forget that this movie was made for children, or at least with the little critters in mind. I'm actually a really big fan of the cast of this movie, and it looks like they're mostly all doing voiceover work. Andy Samberg and John Mulaney as Chip and Dale, Will Arnett as Sweet Pete, Keegan-Michael Key is a chef guy, the abundance of Seth Rogen.
It's so funny.
J.K. Simmons, who does, not surprisingly, but like does amazing as Cop Gumby. I want you guys to understand that J.K. Simmons is really good as Officer Putty. And the only reason I realized that is because he shares a scene with an actual real-life person and somehow overshadows and overperforms as a Gumby character. Sweet Pete's a really interesting villain. I thought it was just some like bootleg version of Peter Pan or something, but to find out that it's just Peter Pan grown up because he couldn't act anymore because he's an adult now is funny. I thought that was silly. I enjoyed that. But I also feel like that opens like a whole giant can of worms, which is like, since when the hell can toons age? And why is it that Peter Pan is the only toon that aged? Also, why is he only like in his 40s? Look, he should at least be in his 70s at this point. I also thought being bootlegged was a lot more of a punishment. Like, I thought not only were you completely turned into a new character, but also you lost your memories with that too, so you were basically dead, and that just wasn't the case. It looks like you were just forced to make bad movies against your will. And they were just killing toons in Roger Rabbit, so I feel like this is a better overall outcome. Also, real quick, there are way too many Dale fake-out deaths. I know he's not dead. I know he's not dead in the fucking Chip and Dale movie. I know! Stop fucking doing it! I feel like there isn't a lot to talk about when it comes to this movie because it's not very complex. The characters are written well. I think the story is presented in a really well way. And I like the way they blended the animation styles. There's not a lot to say bad about this movie. I honestly think the worst thing about it is that one live action actress that's running around with the animated characters because somehow they all overperform in front of her. And like I said, I didn't really realize it until she was fighting J.K. Simmons' Gumby because he fucking killed it. So I think I'm gonna give Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers a 6.5 out of 10. If you like this video, there's plenty more review videos on my channel, so go check them out. There's a whole playlist full of them. So as always, bye, I love you, and save Norbit now. Tail isn't brought back into the light until he reunites with Chip to find their friend Monty Gator. That's not his name either. I'm gonna kill myself.